Let's just say good evening, guys. I haven't turned on the lights yet. I got to power up the lights with fresh batteries. That's countdown's continuing until New Year's Eve. And Star Trek Red trackers are continuing right now to track Santa, so it's several of their online things. And what you're hearing in the background is hot water being percolated in order to get some hot chocolate. At least just get cold. I'm wasting too much on thermoses. Couldn't sleep much. I guess maybe I'm still, I don't know what's with me these days. Or maybe I do. I'm just not sure. Coffee's done. Not going to mocha again. Not this time. I just needed something warm to drink and get things off my chest. Christmas. I talked about Christmas. I hadn't dreamed about Christmas. I talked about Christmas. I past experiences and concerning about what Christmas does. One second, I got a dog to take care of first. Hold on, mamas. Take care of her and do the things necessary to take care of the dog. Without her, I don't think I'd be able to get through some days or other days. I haven't had any triggers or anything else happening to me just yet, thank God. But there's always I'm lucky. Right. I guess I'm blessed. You know, I haven't had all the pretty wrapped gifts underneath the trees in the house in a while. Unless if I'm going to be wrapping them, or somebody else is going to wrap them for me. We get a mysterious season. But, I'm just doing this to count it down until the New Year's. Actually, until Christmas Eve hits, and then see what happens afterwards. I've been lucky. COVID hasn't kicked my ass yet. But indirectly it has kicked my ass. Like everybody else. My own decisions, my own reactions, besides to a damn bug. Also to human reactions. You know, I wish they could have been a hell of a lot better. But they are what they are. What can I do? I don't know. What can I do? stop panicking as much. Stop freaking out as much. We're not going to be thinking about New Year's resolutions. Just let it go and just deal with it. Just take care of it one thing at a time, one day at a time. It's the only thing I can do for right now. In the meantime, I'm still trying to hack. And I'm still trying to deal, and I'm still trying to cope. There's no complaint about this. There shouldn't be. It just is. That's all it is. It just is. Now, if something else happens that is totally bewildering out of my hands, nothing more to be said. Except the guy is still barely asleep, barely awake. Zombie right now, counting down until New Year's Eve. It is the 23rd, and we're still waiting for the 24th. They're saying on the 25th that the James Webb satellite launches. They've had past couple of months problems with the launch window, weather or mechanics. And since they got the mechanics all bolted out, taken care of, it's just weather and time and orbital to where they're going to launch. And they calculated New Year's, actually they calculated Christmas for the latest time, early morning hours for Christmas. Well, like that, Johnny. Too bad they couldn't do it right now. I'll be waiting for it. I'll take about, I don't know, a day or two before it gets in orbit, into its own position, and then here comes the fun. Oh, did I ever talk about the Chinese before? I didn't. Okay. From what I'm gathering from other sources online and also on the news media, the Chinese Space Agency has been taking its sweet time in getting its own self prepared for what's to be done in outer space. Now, they hadn't been part, unfortunately, of, they should have been with us a long time, of having space experience like the Russians and the United States have. We've been competing with each other since the 60s, or longer than that. But the Chinese have yet to get themselves really into space race. They have gotten people orbiting in space, and then they put up their own space station, taking plans from everybody and trying to make sure that everything else is manufacturing is alright. They are not taking risks as much. They did lose the spacecraft. They fell into pieces in the Indian Ocean. You know, they're trying to do a joint effort with the Russian Space Agency in order to beat the Americans and the other Europeans. The European Space Agency hooked up with NASA. We do satellites, and we're also doing experimentations on board the aging space station. It's been up there for more than half my life. And pretty shortly, we've got to get a new space station up there. The only way to do it now is to launch it piecemeal and have astronauts put the thing back together again. Longer, costlier, it's going to have to be commercially done. The private sectors are still working on getting boosters going on. But Elon Musk and SpaceX have in joint works with NASA in trying to get both space station and base on the moon. We can get a lander again on the moon. If we can get a temporary base start set up, then we're doing okay. The Chinese are still rushing at that. They want to get first base on there and claim it. Problem is, we already got a flag on it. We already claimed we've been there first. We've got documentation. But we never took the time. We talked about it, but we never did the opportunities to do it. We had other things happening that stalled out our space race, except for a space truck and a space station. Well, it's giving us a little more information than usual. But we're still going to have to get a long-term mission going. And the Chinese want to send 3 people over to Mars. They need to get the technology developed for it, for long-term interstellar travel, not to mention a one-way trip over there. They would need to have accommodations created right out of their own ship, which means they need to make this son of a bitch self-sustaining somehow. We need a power source besides chemical, probably ion or a nuclear reactor, in order to get a base going if they wanted a temporary base up there. Now they could claim getting on Mars for nationality and for humanity and sticking in people's faces left and right. The thing is, will it be safe enough? Now, knowing how the Russians deal with their nuclear power the last time, and how America's been dealing with nuclear power, is the Chinese that reckless with it. So now they're going to have to test it out, either by space station. Hopefully, if they've got solar power, just to generate the energy necessary in order to run the Earth is one thing. Mars, you're not going to have that much solar power. You need a consistent power source. And it's going to be either sneakily done or they're going to broadcast. I wouldn't be surprised if they either hook up with the North Koreans at this point, just to fill out the roster somehow, and then launch the ship, with or without fanfare. Next thing we would hear about it is the ship months later lands on Mars and then broadcast it for all the people to see, including the Americans and the Russians. Of course, there's not going to be any lawsuits happening at that point, because what can we do about it? We got caught with our pants down, and we didn't take the time necessary along the way to do it. But with the incremental process that we've been doing, we've been making sure that our technology is safe enough for travel. And they've been demonstrating it through the commercialism of privatization, through Bezos' company and through Musk's company. I'm not sure about old Branson and his flight test here. Hasn't done anything yet except mouth off. But Bezos is doing just a little pop up, and that's it. Musk is seeing something far beyond that. I'm hoping Musk is the guy that we're going to be really depending upon, and hopefully doesn't backstab people in the back at this point. But I'm hoping he's going to be able to do it. It'll be interesting to see what happens in the next year. Whether or not, if Musk has actually popped off with a project that is finished, it's going through testing, or if it's actually going to go out there, period. When Branson was doing his testing on the night series, night 1 and night 2, they were trying to verify whether or not if their feathering technology would work with their particular space tourism. Of course, they had a crash called pilot error in that one, or mechanical, or both, but it's still called pilot error. But they've been trying to build up clientele for this, even though he didn't pioneer. He's just getting into it. He tried to get into the cruising with the Scarlet Lady and his Virgin Cruise Line. Well, we'll see what happens. We'll see what happens on that one. Meanwhile, space is still there. People are still freaking out about the atmosphere situation. We're going to be continuing global warming or not. Politicians are still going after each other because of financing of trying to keep global warming at bay. We're feeling miserably in it. I'm saying feeling miserably because mankind still hasn't been able to change the damn atmosphere back to where it's supposed to be. Got so much gases in there, it's not even funny. So, what else is new? What else is going to be happening besides doing the countdown for New Year's? Well, right now it's about 3 minutes and some odd seconds before we get into Christmas Eve right now. Just changed. It says 11:56 and some odd change. So the countdown is still continuing until Christmas. Then after that we worry about New Year's and the popping in the air, and not to mention the popping on the ground. My dog is going to be having a field day over that one. And then, what will the year bring forth? Another variation again to deal with? How many more of these damn variations we're going to have to deal with? And are we going to be able to deal with them just like a damn flu virus? Because right now they still have, they're still trying to collect data from the last mutation and this new mutation coming out. They're still having a field day over it. Not to mention the politicians are having a field day over it. People are screaming and yelling in stores in different places. They're having arguments and fights left and right. Whether or not this whole thing's a government conspiracy or not. I'm observing, I'm reporting from my own damn viewpoints. It's the only thing I'm doing right now. What I understand, this is what I'm recording. But if it's going to happen, it's going to happen. So what the hell am I supposed to do about it? Not a damn thing. Absolutely nothing. Because what can I do? Except having a panic attack over everything that's happening these days. And right now, it's still counting down. Counting down. Counting down. To where I'm going to be needing to go back to bed and try to sleep again if I can. a few more seconds before it turns into Christmas Eve. So, might as well. Might as well turn on the sparklies. At least for around here anyway. And call it. And about a few more seconds. Should have done a timer for this thing. But it's getting there eventually. I just want to get the sparklies going first. Should I be worried? Should I be panicking? Should I be driving myself absolutely nuts concerning about the things happening? I mean, once this year's passed, everything else I lived during that time is gone. But afterwards, then what? To tell you the truth, honest to God, I don't know. My eye is still on the phone. Ah, here we go. Happy Christmas Eve, 2021. Let's just hope everything else gets a little better.